Momoshiki's been way too quiet in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. He hasn't manifested, and the only time he was mentioned was when Boruto was telling Kawaki that Momoshiki can still take over control of him if Boruto loses consciousness or runs out of chakra. Even though there's been way too many chances for Momoshiki to take over Boruto and make an appearance, he still hasn't done it. So why hasn't Momoshiki made an appearance, and what could he be planning to do if he does finally take over control of Boruto? Before we get into that, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What you need to know about Momoshiki is that he's opportunistic. Yes, there might have been loads of chances for him to make an appearance, but we need to think about whether or not it was the best time for him to take action. Whenever Momoshiki took over control of Boruto, it was always at moments where he can do the most damage or force current events to unfold in a way that benefits him, or will guarantee his survival. A few examples are situations like the Naruto rescue mission, where Team 7 went to Jigen's dimension to rescue Naruto. Boruto had been assigned to watch over the sealing capsule that had Naruto inside of it. Team 7 had no choice but to fight Boruto because he was an obstacle to them that was preventing them from getting to Naruto. Boruto was a major challenge for them because of his regeneration capabilities and his proficiency with ninjutsu. Team 7 had to put their heads together and work out a plan to get past Boruto's regeneration. This is where Kawaki's knowledge of Amado's regeneration technology and its limitations, as well as Sarada's strategic planning and her Chidori, gave them the breakthrough that they needed. Team 7 was able to get to Boruto's regeneration core and destroy it, which made him unstable, and he lashed out at them for breaking his core, smashing Boruto hard into the ground and almost killing him. That's when Momoshiki manifested for the first time as Borushiki. He defeated Boruto within almost an instant and showed us the potential of how dangerous it could be if he had permanent control over Boruto. Momoshiki's manifestation in that moment ensured Boruto's survival and by extension his own survival. Self-preservation is one of the only reasons why Momoshiki will manifest. The events that followed after Naruto's rescue mission were a great example of how dangerous Momoshiki or Borushiki can be. When Boruto ran out of chakra during the whole ordeal with Ishiki and Momoshiki took over control. In that moment, Momoshiki didn't just appear when he was stabbing Sasuke's Rinnegan with the kunai blade. He took over Boruto a few moments earlier and then observed what was happening, carefully waiting for his chance to strike and destroy Sasuke's Rinnegan. The same dojutsu that's been a major issue for him with its Aminoteji Kara and space-time ninjutsu. So destroying Sasuke's Rinnegan would eventually benefit him by reducing Sasuke's fighting power, and also making sure that he can't use Aminoteji Kara or space-time ninjutsu to interfere with what Momoshiki is planning. It will eventually benefit him to deal with a Sasuke that doesn't have a Rinnegan than a Sasuke with both a Mangekyo Sharingan and the Rinnegan's power. There was also the time when Kawaki had just sealed away Naruto and Hinata and was trying to escape the village. He almost wasn't successful in making his escape because Boruto and the Konoha Shinobi had managed to capture him. But Momoshiki took over Boruto and then helped Kawaki escape the village, which eventually led to Kawaki getting far away enough that Ada could fly to his location and then meet up with him, whereby he eventually triggered Ada's divine Shinjutsu and activated Omnipotence, switching the lives of him and Boruto. So how is that going to benefit Momoshiki? The obvious conclusion for this is that Momoshiki was trying to take away Boruto's support system. He was trying to isolate Boruto with the assumption that Boruto would fall apart when he was hit with the realization that his family and friends are now his enemies. Boruto would have no one to help him and there would be no one to stop Momoshiki with the intention of saving Boruto. It would be easier to take control of Boruto in that moment of weakness. At least that's what Momoshiki assumed would happen. Momoshiki didn't think that Boruto would have enough mental fortitude to still be holding his head high and welcome the challenge of having to fight to regain everything that was stolen from him. Of course, this outcome was influenced by Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan convincing Sasuke that Boruto is innocent and that he should help him. So Boruto wasn't completely isolated like Momoshiki intended. This is why, despite the countless opportunities for Momoshiki to manifest, Momoshiki is still choosing to observe and watch how things continue to unfold. Whenever Boruto would lose consciousness or run out of chakra into Blue Vortex, there would be way too many things happening around Boruto. When Boruto's karma resonated with Kawaki's and Boruto had to take a moment to calm down its power, Momoshiki could have taken over, but he didn't. It could have been because he knew that Jorah was in the village and Boruto wasn't yet strong enough to take him on, even with the karma's power added to Boruto's strength. Then there was the moment when Jorah hit Boruto with a Biju Bomb sniper and he lost consciousness. It still wasn't a good opportunity to take over control of Boruto because Konohamaru didn't waste any time putting Boruto in handcuffs that inhibit the flow of chakra. meaning that Boruto wasn't going to be able to use ninjutsu. So taking over his body at that moment in time would have been pointless. The moment where Momoshiki can manifest and do something big that will have a major impact on the direction that the story is going to be headed has to be at the right time, and he can't afford to waste that opportunity. We saw how it isn't easy for him to take over control because he always has to fight for control with Boruto. So what Momoshiki might be planning is permanent. To finally take over Boruto permanently and at the right time. So wasting that opportunity by making an appearance at a time where there are powerful enemies like Jorah or even Kawaki now that he has his limiters removed can be a fatal mistake for Momoshiki that could result in his and Boruto's death. Kawaki has made it clear to Boruto that he's not going to hesitate to kill him if Momoshiki decides to manifest. Now that he actually has the power to do that, Momoshiki can't afford to take that gamble. Jorah is more of an unpredictable factor because he doesn't seem to care about the Otsutsuki. Jorah has positioned himself more as an enemy to both Shinobi and the Otsutsuki. So Momoshiki can try to resurrect on the basis of forming an alliance with the Shinju to get rid of Kawaki, so that he can have one less obstacle to deal with. This is why I believe that Momoshiki hasn't made an appearance, despite the many opportunities for him to do so. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and check out this video that explains how Kawaki is turning into Jigen.